Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm from No Backstage. A few questions they wanted to know that you never answered before. So
Okay.
we got a lot of great questions, and we with the help of a fan page is called Jauregui BR. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They helped us, and we made a compilation of the most requested ones. Okay.
Okay.
So first of all, we just released a song with Pablo, and it was so unexpected, but we really loved the song. And we heard you are open to do more collaboration with other Brazilian artists. So would you consider singing in Portuguese?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm coached through it, for sure. I just don't want to sound like a gringa, you know?
Uh-huh. No, but I'm pretty sure you would sound amazing.
Thank
Uh,
you.
you have a huge fan base here, and you've been here before, and you could feel our energy. And what was the importance of the Brazilian fans and our music industry for your solo career?
Well, I mean, they've just been so supportive. Like, they've been one of the most supportive fan bases that I have. So, I mean, they're super important. Like, just even the way that they made 10 different songs of mine chart the top 10 for like a whole like 2 days, I think it was. Like, that's just that amount of love and energy is just so, it makes my heart like warm.
And you have tattooed your first show here. So,
Yes, I do.
what was the most remarkable moment in your career over the last 3 years?
Honestly, I think one of the most incredible moments was when I performed in Montreux with Quincy Jones for his tribute. Just being in a room with Quincy and hearing him speak and him knowing who I am and just, wanting me to be part of his tribute at one of the like biggest jazz festivals in the world, that was really impactful and really confirming for me. It was like, okay, like there are legends that recognize you and where you're going and your path and your art, so that to me was one of the most special moments to this day of my career.
And what did you feel when you started by yourself this like 3 years ago? And what's the difference between then and now?
Well, when I first started, it was kind of, I mean, it was the most freeing experience of my life. Like, being told that I wasn't in a group anymore was like, wow, okay, now I can be me. And then there was the whole, okay, but who the fuck is me? So it was like these past 3 years have been just kind of like a process of unraveling and relearning and becoming more acquainted with myself and trusting my ear and figuring out what it is that I want to give to the world from my own perspective and my own art. So yeah, I think that's the biggest difference, is the confidence that I have now. I think I'm much more confident in who I am and what I bring to the table, and the belief in myself is just deep because it's spiritual for me more than it is physical.
Yes. And you wrote all the songs for your album, right? So,
Yes.
how do you feel knowing that anytime soon we will be able to hear it and to know more of you with this?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most beautiful things about getting to share my art is I'm sharing my heart. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is me on a platter for people to just kind of dissect and absorb. And hopefully, my hope for it is that people resonate and they feel seen and they feel loved and they feel heard through the music.
So, this is what you expect people to feel when hearing it.
I hope so. That's what I hope. I hope
I'm
people
pretty sure
resonate
we
with
will.
it.
Next one, do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
The first song I ever wrote, yeah, I think I was 14. I think I was 14. And no, that's a lie. I was in second grade when I wrote my first song. It was called Emergency. And it was it was really dark. I was really punk, man. I was really, really punk and really sad, I guess, for a second grader. It was really
Would you
intense.
ever release it?
Hell
Oh,
no. Oh my
no.
God. Hell no.
Okay, fair enough. And what was the most unusual place where you wrote a song?
Unusual place?
Yes.
Um, I've written songs like, I don't know, I guess all of the places I've written them are kind of usual. They're either in a studio or in my bedroom or in my living room. I've had random ideas come to me when I'm like driving or like, it just depends. Like sometimes I just get really inspired and I just like kind of do like a little freestyle into my phone. That's happened in very random places. I can't think of like a specifically random place, but I've definitely written a lot of songs in my bathroom.
Okay, that's a common place for a lot of people say that.
Yeah, I'm
uh,
sorry.
no,
I'm
it's
boring.
fine.
Basic.
No, it's not boring. But have you ever had any creative block? Like you wanted to write, but just nothing comes on.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very temperamental when it comes to writing. So if I have a scheduled session and I don't have anything to write about that day, like it's a block. Like there's no, I'm not forcing anything. I don't like to force myself to write music because I don't think that that's how music is supposed to be. I don't think you're supposed to force something out of yourself. I feel like art is supposed to just kind of like flow out of you because it's divinely inspired. So I've definitely had my fair share of blocks and definitely pissed people off because I wasn't ready to write.
So when it happens, you just push. What do?
sometimes,
You wait for
sometimes
another day.
yeah, sometimes I sit there and I'm like trying to do it, but most of the time I'll leave. Like I'll just be like, I'm sorry guys, I'm just not inspired today. I love you and I'm sorry for wasting your time, but I gotta go because I'm not gonna just sit here.
Yeah, but that's okay because it's good to hear this because we can see it's really from your heart. You're
Oh
not
yeah.
like pushing yourself to do that.
No, if
It's
it
more
has to be forced out, it's not the day to write.
right. Sure. So I mean, people are asking for your album, but I know it takes it takes time to do it because you can press yourself to do that. How do you feel about the way we consume music nowadays? Because
My God.
it's way different than before.
It's crazy. It's really crazy because I feel like music's been commoditized. I don't even know how the fuck to say the word. It's just been like people think that music is a product. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know how people can come out with new collections and new, fast fashion. It's like fast fashion, you know what I'm saying? It's like people
Yeah.
expect you to just kind of be shitting out songs. And to be fair, a lot of people do have the capacity to do that because they're not writing their own songs. They have a bunch of other people writing their songs. So they have a bunch of stuff flowing in all the time. But for someone like me who's actually writing my music, it's difficult to just kind of pump things out at the speed that people expect it to be pumped out because I'm not I'm not a machine. you know, I got to go through life and experience things in order to have something to say. So yeah, I think people are kind of like, and then you give people something and then they like consume the shit out of it. And then they're like, okay, next week, they're like, okay, what's next? What's
Yes,
next? What's next? And
exactly.
I'm just like, I just gave you something I worked on for months. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying though, because I have a lot of stuff that I've been working on that's like kind of like lined up. So hopefully I'm able to like give people more than they've well, definitely more than they've gotten from me. But I'm going to be definitely more consistent in how quickly things come out, but I also I'm very much about quality. So I'm never going to rush something out if I know that if I take a little more time on it, it'll be a better product. And but then I also need to find like a medium ground on that where I don't take too long and overthink things and then end up not even putting it out because that's something that artists do too. So I'm trying to find that balance right now. But definitely once I start releasing things, it'll keep flowing.
Okay. So you always stand up for what you believe is right, but did you ever fail to express an opinion because of the possible consequences it would bring to your career? Like you did not say something you wanted to, or how do you deal with contrary opinions that might come to you when you stand up for something?
Mm, I don't know. I'm pretty opinionated. Like I'm pretty open about what I think about things. I also though I've learned as I've grown up, like I'm very different from my 18-year-old self. My 18-year-old self was very fiery and very ready to fight. people about things, but I've also, as I've grown, I've learned grace, and I've understood that a lot of the reason why people think ignorantly is because they haven't been educated. And there's so many lies that we all live our day to day on. Like a lot of the society that we have grown up in is based off of lies, and so it's hard for people to shatter their sense of reality. And so I've had more grace for people who don't get it now. Like there's a lot more understanding and kind of compassion for why people don't understand things and why people aren't perfectly educated. I also, I had my own problematic thoughts and opinions, and I know that it was by the grace of a lot of friends of mine who called me in and taught me better, that I was able to grow as a person and realign my energy to be more of an expression of who I am and what I actually believe. And so I feel like that grace is the most important part of actually getting people to listen to a revolutionary thought, or a thought that may be idealistic or explosive. It's easier for people to digest it when they're given the capacity to be wrong about it at first, and then grow to understand it as they're explained things, and that's not everybody's job, but I feel like it is kind of a huge part of my job as a white person as a white Latina in a public sphere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, what's the point of having fame if you're not talking about shit and rattling the table? You know what I'm saying? Like there's no other reason for me to have power.
Yeah, that's right. We're about to finish, but I want to read a few tweets in Portuguese, and you need to guess what they mean, if it's okay for you. Okay. I know you read a lot of they ask you to speak in Portuguese, so I'm gonna ask you to guess. The first one is from Sofia, to say, não tenho culpa se eu sou tão popular. Do you have any idea? Não tenho culpa se eu sou tão popular.
I don't know how I'm so popular.
Yeah, it's not my fault that I'm so popular.
Okay, I kind of got that. Yeah, a little bit.
The next one's from Raíssa. She said, Lauren é a mulher mais linda desse mundo.
Lauren is the most beautiful in this world.
Your Portuguese is very good. So the last one is, imagina acordar dia e descobrir que é Lauren Jauregui.
Imagine that you're just walking one day and you see Lauren Jauregui.
Imagine waking up one day and discovering you are Lauren.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Okay, so that's it. Lauren, thank you so much for talking to us. Would you like to send a message for, it's called Now Backstage, and for your Brazilian fans?
Just thank you guys. Thank you guys for being present with me and for supporting me. I love you. Eu te amo muito.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Mama.
Bye.